Welcome everyone. Let's look for some stock trade ideas. If you're new to the channel, this is all about stock market technical analysis. It's about finding trade ideas and profiting from those trade ideas. Let's get into it as we go along. If you find value in the content, you think it's worthwhile, leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment on any kind of stock chart you want me to analyze in the future. Okay guys, triple Qs, couple things going on. The main thing I'm really focused on right now on the hourly chart is this downtrend line right here. It shows up on the daily, but basically we've got several tags of this downtrend line that have been resistance, 1, 2, 3, and you can see we're moving up into that zone of resistance. So that is the area. I've got it kind of circled, but basically I'm looking at reshorting the triple Qs up in that zone. So the downtrend line right now falls at about 367.70, and then there is also a gap right there. Maybe we pop up and fill that gap at 369.44. So anywhere right in here looks like the zone of resistance in the area where it's objective to short. Doesn't mean it's going to work out, no guarantees, but you set a stop somewhere above. Give it a little room, but I don't think you don't need to give it too much room beyond that gap. We should fail up in that area. If we don't, you stop out for a small loss, move on. Otherwise, I am looking for that to start to roll over up in that area, and then ultimately make another leg down all the way down to this 342.73 area right down here on the daily chart. So resistance right up there, and I'm looking for the next profit target down here at this 342. So that's the trade idea and that I'm looking for. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, was this just another dip in the triple Qs, or is it the start of a longer term downtrend? I think we're probably starting a downtrend. I don't know how far down it's going to go. I could see a possible move all the way down to this red trend line, all the way down here at 325. And yeah, so I could see that. But for now, we'll just target this profit target. And that's what I got. So one thing to notice on the daily, one reason why I don't think it's just another dip buying opportunity, we did make a lower low. You'll see the former low. Here's a little dip. We made a former low, and we even had this range of support right here. And we made a new lower low below those former lows. So I suspect we're going to rally into this resistance and get rejected and make a new lower low. I think we're in a downtrend. So that means lower lows and lower highs. So there's your lower low right there. And, we just kind of need to see a lower high and then just, continue on the way down. So there's the trade idea that I'm going to be trying to play. Again, I showed you kind of how I'll react if we start to pop above there. You stop out, take a small loss, and it's all about just entering a short position at an objective level. I don't want to short on a dip. I want to short on a rip. So we've got the rip going right now. We're rallying up. I want to short into resistance and push that thing, hopefully that thing pushes lower. That's how you do it. And SPY, let's look at SPY. Here's the hourly chart. Again, here's kind of the corresponding downtrend line. It's marked in blue. Lots of things. I got to clean this chart up for sure. But basically, we've got this level, this downtrend that we've marked out that we're basically, tagging. There's a rejection, kind of all through here. My line might be off slightly. And we popped above it so far on this rally, but it looks like they're starting to fade it down. I suspect we're going to close below it. But again, the triple Qs has a little bit more to go to the upside to get rejected at that trend line. So maybe we chop around here for a little bit on the SPY. Looking at that, if we do reject here, then I suspect we're going to, at least come down to this red trend line or potentially tag this 425.50 on the daily chart. That's a level of support. There's support there. So we might undercut that, hit that level, 425, then bounce. Again, it's all about the Qs. I'm really more focused on the Qs right now with those levels I pointed out. The SPY is likely going to do what the Qs does. Okay, the FANG stocks. Amazon's basically sideways, so that one's kind of just dead money. Can't really use that one too much. I do think Amazon's going lower, but again, it's just kind of in the middle of the range. Google has this uptrend line right here. I've got it marked out. We've dipped below it. And we've recovered that so far. So that's bullish, basically, in the short term. Microsoft had some support right here at 283.97. You can see we kind of dipped below and the buyer stepped in. We're above that now, so that's bullish. Apple, a couple levels. I marked out this level too, 141.50 or so. Dip below it, but we've recovered that. So Apple looks in the short term bullish. And then Facebook has broken. Facebook's clearly on a sell signal. Bearish rising wedge here. And we clearly broke that. But that doesn't mean that we can't rally up and do a back test before failing. So, there's no telling that there's going to be a rally. This one, if you rally, I'd look to short this or sell the rip, because you've broken the major trend. You've started the downtrend. I want to short into rips on this thing. So, again, that's what I see. The FANGs, they in general, they're definitely today looking bullish. So we'll see if that continues to hold up. Here's NET. So NET is a very volatile stock. So again, position sizing is important here. You don't want to take maybe a full size position on this one. We caught this short right here in NET, and that was a drop. That was a drop of about 15%, and then it's just rallied basically right back up 15% or so. And so coming into resistance though, so resistance is going to be right up here at about 142. Maybe it happens tomorrow, 143, somewhere right in there. And if it does it soon, it's going to be just continuation of the negative divergence. See the PPO, how it's just trending down. And so just a slightly higher high in price, and we'll make just a new divergent high, meaning we're likely going to get rejected there and sell down. So that would, again, make another objective area to short this thing right up here around 141.75, 142, somewhere right in there is a objective area to short. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's definitely a good risk-reward potential at that level for a short. So that's what I'll be looking to do on that one. BABA. So this one had a short squeeze basically today. It's up 8% or so. So on the hourly, you have this short-term downtrend line that gapped up and ran it right up, but it did run right into major resistance. So here's your downtrend line that BABA's been walking down on the daily, and we're right at it right now, basically closing, likely going to close right at resistance. One thing to note on BABA, though, is you do have bullish divergence on the daily chart. So there it is on the RSI, and there it is on the PPO. So we were making new lower lows in price, and yet momentum starting to move higher. So I suspect we're going to break out to the upside on this. Whether it happens tomorrow, I don't know. I think we're probably likely going to get a move, probably going to get some sort of a reaction, a move down, and then maybe it'll hold and then break. So I'd watch for the breakout on this. These things have been beat up like crazy. This is likely going to be a long trade on a breakout of this downtrend line here marked in red on the daily. And so, yeah, and if we do break out, we'll just watch for, there's a key level. It looks like right about there. There's kind of a gap right there. So maybe we go fill that gap right in there. Gap fill would be 180, 180, and then gap entry is 178. So that's a level of resistance, but I suspect we could rally all the way up there and fill that gap. Things to look for on that one. Again, no buy signal. Even with the big move today, I mean, you could have bought it this morning because that was a short-term buy signal on this breakout, but we're now at that major downtrend line. So until that goes, I don't think we're going to have a sustained rally, but I do think, I could see us pulling back here. Maybe we gap fill, from today down to 145, and then rally up and break that trend line. I'm more interested in the break of the major trend line. So that's what I'll be watching for the next buy signal on this thing to the long side. Gold and gold miners. We'll start out with GDX, gold mining ETF. Here's your bullish falling wedge. We're still within the wedge, so no real breakout or buy signals. I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe we could grind around in this wedge some more and then break. But we're in a bullish falling wedge, so we're just waiting for, for the next major buy signal for a breakout buy signal of this downtrend line marked here in blue. We do have bullish divergence on the RSI and the PPO, so it tells us that we're going to break soon or have a higher probability of breaking to the upside soon, but we don't have that full-on breakout. Again, I've been adding to these miners on tags of support. Because this bullish divergence, it looks like we're going to break to the upside. So I've been adding at tags of support. I've got a good size position allocated, and I'm just waiting for that breakout. So that is there. Starting to see some life come out of these miners. You can see here AEM. Look at the downtrend line. Let me show you guys that. Here's your bull market coming out off of 2018 or so, and you can see, or 2015, and you can see we held support. This is your uptrend line. COVID flush out, liquidity smash down. You just kind of X that out because it was forced selling. But when it's not forced selling, and you can see what's going on right here. When it's not forced selling, we dip below it just briefly. See that dip below it, and we've recovered it. So to me, that looks like a false breakdown or a bear trap. We'll see if that can hold, if we can hold this, but looks like that was the low, yeah, at least in this stock. Again, bullish divergence, we do have bullish divergence. If I extend this out, you can see right there. There's some bullish divergence on the PPO, and it's kind of there on the RSI. Definitely on the PPO, where we made a new lower low in price. So here was your former low, and you dipped below and made a new lower low, and yet momentum was much higher. Higher momentum than before, right? So there's your lower momentum, there's your higher. So higher momentum, lower price, that's, momentum is diverging from price. If you guys are unfamiliar with these concepts, check out my stock market technical analysis course. I leave a link in the description below. It's a $99 course for about 4 to 5 hours of video trainings across all the technical concepts that I cover in my videos. Check that out. It's a very good value, so link in the description below. Another miner, let's look here, HMY. Again, same kind of setup. You've got your low starting in 2015. And you've got a tag of support. COVID basically tagged that as support. And then recently you can see we undercut that right there, but, impulsively snapping back above it. That's a big break candle right there back above it. And we're above it today, pretty much flat today, but still holding above it. So that's a potential bear trap, they run it down below key levels so that they can run a bunch of stops and then take positions from those. So we'll see, but I'm looking for this to continue to rally. Kinross Gold, KGC, bearish falling or bullish falling wedge at the top of the wedge right now. So I don't know if it's going to break out of the wedge here and now, but it's obviously has the potential. And we've got bullish divergence on the RSI and the PPO. So that's telling me we're going to break soon, whether it's whether we get another pullback and kind of chop around and then break, or if we just break now, I don't know that. I just know that we're likely going to break to the upside soon. Okay, guys, that's all I really have. I'm going to close it out. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye.